Hello, it's Jake at Canadian Cutting Edge, and today we're going to look at a Sanrenmu knife, a small gentleman's folder style blade, the 7028 LUE-XL. Not that it's extra large by any stretch. Yeah, I don't think they use the XL for that designation in Sanrenmu, China. If you're interested at all in this knife, I'd like to invite you to stick around. We'll move the camera to the tabletop view and we'll take a close look at what makes this knife tick. The color seems a little yellow today. I'm not sure exactly why, but we'll make do with what we got. It certainly shows the richness of the rosewood handle scales in this light. So we've got this polished blade. You can see the light. You can see my light fixture above us through that polish. This is, let's see if we can get the name on there, focus through, 7028 LUE-XL. You can sort of read that in there. Polished or burnished kind of bolster here. Flat grind on the blade. Clearly a drop point. Bit of a swedge going on all the way across the blade there, down to the tip. Full flat grind, polished. Looks good, shiny. I wish they would have polished the bolster the same as the blade. You know, that'd be a nice touch. There's no nail nick on this knife, and so you can see right away what I've got there. I've got a fingerprint there and there from deploying the blade. And that's what you get. There's no thumb studs or anything, so you have the option of deploying the blade kind of using your thumb back here. And I've had that work every once in a while, you know, trying to pull on it, but I doubt that that's what it's for. That's just if you don't want to mark it up. I can do it sometimes by pushing away a little bit, but yeah, no, that's not how you deploy the blade. You deploy it by pinching right here and pulling out. And what we've got here is 8CR14 MOV steel. It's 0.1 inches thick at the thickest right here. So that's, what do we got? 2.5 millimeters thick steel, which this full flat grind is really good. The thickness of the blade here is 3/4 of an inch, or the depth from the spine to the cutting edge is 3/4 of an inch. That's 2 centimeters, which is also the same as the handle thickness from the belly to the spine there as well. You've got a blade length of 2.7 inches. I don't know where my brain was for a second there. 2.7 inches long, which is 6.8 centimeters. And the handle is 3.7 inches, which is 9.4 centimeters. And so then the entire thing is only 6.25 inches long, which is 15.5 centimeters. So it's a knife in my large size hand. The handle basically disappears, although you can get decent purchase. My ring finger fits in this tail end choil here. What's that word for that? Oh, anyhow, my third finger fits right there and my pinky comes out over the end of the knife. And you get decent purchase for doing some nice light gentleman's folder style work. The cutting edge, they didn't do the best job with the grind. It's ground a little bit more on this side, as you can see, than it is on this side. The grind is uneven. That's a small negative against this knife. It's easy enough to fix. The steel is certainly soft enough that you're able to sharpen it pretty quickly. The centering of the blade is a little bit off to the left. You can see it most clearly by looking at the tip there. Let's see if we can focus on that. So the end of the blade, the tip of the blade, you can see at the end of the handle, it's off to the right-hand side just a little bit. So this knife is missing a lot of features. There's no thumb stud or nail nick or anything to open the blade. And there's no lanyard hole anywhere. So it's a really simple, basic liner lock folding knife. The liner lock is locking up at about 75% roughly, so it's got a little bit of life wear left. The liner's pretty thin. This is not by any stretch a hard use knife. You've got a tiny little bit of a cutout here, so it's easy to unlock the knife when you want to close it up. You've got steel liners and steel bolster, rosewood handle, all Torx screw construction. You've got a little bit of a decoration with this back spacer coming out a bit, forming a ridge that comes all the way around the tail of the knife and then ends abruptly just a little bit past the end. Just giving it, over 1/8 of an inch room to spare. So I wish they could have come just a little bit closer, made that look a little bit, the tolerance is a little tighter. It would make it look a little more professional. The fit and finish is fair on this knife. Where the wood meets the bolster, they could have done a better job meeting those surfaces together. But then I only paid $7.50 for this knife, right around $9 currently. I think I had a coupon code, which is why I got a good deal on this knife. It's a gentleman's folder. It'll sit at the bottom of your pocket and just sit there minding its own business until you go to use it. It does have a little bit of weight for its size, though. I would have thought it'd be less than it is. It's 3 ounces, right on 3 ounces, which is 86 grams. But looking at it, I would have thought it would be a slightly lighter. Not bad. You can see I actually do sometimes use the side of my finger to start the deployment. It's a good entry-level gentleman style knife. So let's test how it cuts. Let's try some paracord here, doubled up. No problem at all. They've done a good job with sharpening it, even though the grind isn't even everywhere, but it cuts quite well, and you can use it for your basic cutting tasks. No problem. If you're going to cut up an apple or whatever in your lunch pail, this kind of knife is probably not going to look scary in the office. It's going to draw attention because it's got such a polish on it. It's not a supreme polish, but it's a pretty good polish. So it cuts that, no problem. Let's try something thicker. Here we've got some wire from a Xbox gaming controller, and we'll see how well it cuts through this. Not a problem at all. And just to show you guys, this has got a decent amount of shielding all the way around the knife. So there's a fair bit of metal and foil that we cut through to do that. So that's not bad at all. Let's try it on some banding here. Inch wide nylon strapping, more than adequate. It's a decent cutting knife. So there you go, the Sanrenmu 7028. Well, I got it open with one hand there. Yeah, maybe there's a new way to deploy this knife after all. Let's see if I can do that with my left. Not a problem, except that last little push, I pushed right there on the blade slightly. You do that a little bit too hard and you're going to cut into your skin just a bit. Decent knife. I like this knife. At $7, it's a good, gentleman's pocket folder. $8, $9, $10 as well. It's reasonable that way. So if you're looking for a knife in this kind of style, and you, there we go. How long was I out of focus? I don't know. If you're looking for a knife in this kind of style, in this kind of shape, go ahead, take a good look at this one. Go ahead and buy it. It's at GearBest. GearBest is one of my favorite stores to get overseas products at a low price. And I recommend this knife if it's really what you want. If you're not going to miss the thumb stud or the nail nick, if you're not going to miss the lanyard hole, if you're not going to miss those things, yeah, this is a good knife. I like it. I'm glad I have it, glad I own it. And Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please click on like in the lower right hand corner, or share it with somebody in the lower left. In the description below, there'll be a link to GearBest so you can buy this knife quickly and easily. And if you'd like to leave some comments about this knife or any other discussion about knives that you want to start in the comment section, thank you very much. I don't do debates or arguing.